It was a ferocious shot, I should say. I mean, he was able to create a little bit of space for himself, kind of half volleys it into the goal from 25 yards out. He is a wonderful player. Yeah. Another brilliant find by Brighton. I think, what was it, 15 million they paid for him?
Yeah.
Back about 18 months or so ago. I know Brighton probably won't want to hear this, but he's a player you imagine other teams may well be looking at.
The vultures are hanging over Amex, over him. I've said it for over a year or two. He's one that really excites me. As a fullback, wing back, he can do both. And he's capable. He's done that before. Yes, the goal, he's done it before. And he's he's been injured this year, but Estupinan is really a handful as an attacking player. I can't imagine there wouldn't be like half a dozen clubs who'd want him, because what he does is pretty extraordinary. How old is he, Nat? Do you know? He's around 25, 26 now, I think. But he's one that Brighton are going to have to fend off clubs wanting him.
He is 26 later this month.
Yeah, I knew he was 25, 26, but he is definitely one that clubs are going to be looking at. That Brighton are going to have to do what, look, they keep selling these players for incredible money, Brighton. I think it was like 200 million, was it, last season they brought into the football club, and he's another one. He's really got a lot about him. He's really quick.
I was going to say he's pacey. He was playing out in Spain, so they spotted him at Villarreal, Ecuadorian. The interesting thing with him is, you mentioned how much money they've brought into the club recently with their player sales. 15 million, like I say, is I think the fee that they paid for him. I mean, what kind of price tag do you think they can put on him?
It's hard to say, because Brighton have got top dollar. When you look at, I think he's way better than Cucurella. Chelsea. Right. I think he's way ahead. I think he's a much more physical, accomplished, dangerous wing back, come fullback, and I think they'll get probably between 60 and 80 if they really had to sell him. I think that someone would pay it if they really feel they need that type of. I just love what he gives to a team. I think he's one of the best out there.
Well, he is, like we mentioned, he's been brilliant for Brighton since making that step up into the team. One other player that's been terrific for Brighton is João Pedro. He scored twice yesterday
Watford,
in that 4-2 victory, as I say, at Stoke. He was their club record signing of 30 million when they bought him last summer. Do you think, again, likewise, he's another player that other teams might be thinking, we've missed a boat on this one, and perhaps we should have brought him in? Because of all the Premier League players that have been regularly scoring, only Erling Haaland and Mo Salah have scored more this season than João Pedro's 15 goals.
Yeah, and a lot to like about him. Brighton seem to sign very athletic players in different positions. His movement is terrific. He's got a bit of an eye for a goal. He creates an assist as well. He's a willing runner. Again, gets all types of quality goals. Brighton's recruitment has been extraordinary, Nat. I did read an article a few months back. There's about 7 Ecuadorian players, and obviously Pedro is not, but there is a number of Ecuadorian players, because Caicedo, Estupinan is another one. There's about 7 of them who have been brought into football, and there's a certain area in Ecuador where it's like a small town where a number of players have come out, top players have come out from, and their recruitment worldwide now, Brighton, is extraordinary, and it's paying huge dividends. All clubs are trying their best to improve recruitment now, isn't it?
And what's interesting as well, very quickly on the João Pedro story, and you talk about Brighton's recruitment, Roberto De Zerbi obviously was full of praise for him yesterday after his 2 goals. And he's spoken about, look, there's so much more to come from João Pedro. And he was saying, I think I know how I can improve him and be better for us. But he also said, the recruitment department told me the name of João, but I didn't know João before he came with us, he said. So for Roberto De Zerbi, he was an unknown, which I find fascinating, which goes to show that... And I know a lot of we would know a little bit more about João Pedro because of playing at Watford, for example, but... Again, that's the recruitment team, just finding these gems that managers can then try and work with and better.
Can I just add something here? I know someone who knows Tony Bloom very well, and he's worked with Tony Bloom. He's been an investor with Tony Bloom, and he's always said he's incredibly smart, Tony, employing very smart people in the departments that he needs. If he can't do it, but he knows and finds the people and invests huge amounts of money in Brighton to find players worldwide that other people might not be looking at.
The Sunday Sports Breakfast with Natalie, Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Sunday mornings from 6 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.